before I begin, I forgot something in my last review. My favorite line from Captain America Civil War. It actually is towards the end of the film. Like, really towards the end of the film. When it's actually my favorite cameo of Stan Lee's. My favorite Stan Lee cameo, and it's when he's delivering the package, and he says, "Are you Tony Stank?" And Rhodey says, "Yeah, this is Tony Stank. Thank you for that." That's my favorite line. Just wanted to mention that. I forgot to do that in the last one, so with that in mind, yo, it's me, CSCOTT, baby, and I'm back with my review of the 2016 film, Doctor Strange, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen, and is directed by Scott Derrickson. Scott Adkins is in this? Okay, so I've already mentioned this with Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy that I was iffy on those because I didn't know too much about the properties. Doctor Strange I knew some, mostly because of Spider-Man the Animated Series. So, needless to say, I was just a little bit upset when I found that they cast an African American in the role of Mordo, being that the Mordo I grew up with was Caucasian, had greased back black hair, and a little goatee thingy hair. And was not a good guy, but a villain. Now, I've watched the animated Doctor Strange film, and I know he used to be an ally first. And that's fine if they want to do that. My idea for the Doctor Strange film, instead of Caecilius being the villain, take Caecilius out altogether and have it be Mordo, who is at first an ally, but upon seeing all the attention that Doctor Strange is getting from the Ancient One, he gets jealous and instead starts to look into dark magics and finds Dormammu and works on releasing him. Doesn't that seem better than some dude who I've never heard of going around with a bunch of people doing something for an hour and a half till they decide they're going to release Dormammu? I mean, you can say that he has to collect certain things to release Dormammu, and that can be the brunt of the film as he goes around and you have to have Doctor Strange try to stop him. And maybe he needs the Time Stone to activate something. Who knows? You know? Yes, we have another Infinity Stone in this one. The Time Stone. So, yes. So what does that make? That makes 5, right? You got Space Stone, Mind Stone, Reality Stone, Power Stone, and this one, Time Stone. There's 5, and so Soul Stone, which we'll talk about eventually. But yeah, my idea to me seems a little bit better. Not that this film is bad; it's not. It's your standard Marvel superhero formula, but I think having some villain that no one's really heard of. If you have heard of him from the comics, that's fine. But to me, it was underwhelming when I was expecting Mordo to be the main villain, and he's an ally. Now, that's not to say I have any problem with him being cast African American. It's just not what I envisioned. You know, when they said they were going to make a Doctor Strange movie, I was ready for it to be what I remember it. And maybe they thought casting someone who looks like the animated version looked too close to Doctor Strange, which I can admit. But to me, I just remember sitting in the theater and thinking, what's Caecilius? Who is this guy? What's his motive? Because the whole thing with Mordo, at least in the animated version, was he was trying to release Dormammu. And it's revealed that's what he's trying to do. But it's like not his goal until the last quarter of the film for some reason. His main goal is to get revenge on the Ancient One. And once the Ancient One is killed, spoiler alert, then he goes about Dormammu. The main villain should have been Dormammu from the get-go. That was the main end game should have been, is Dormammu. That would have been better. And now, because you made him such a minor villain in your film, and they're already talking, because like, okay, I watched this movie the first time, and I'm like, okay, so if they do a sequel, Dormammu, because by the end of this, because this is an origin story not just for Doctor Strange, but for Mordo as well. By the end of this, Mordo has decided to go off and do his own thing, and he's very much a villain now, taking back the magics that the human have. And I'm like, okay, so then this can set up him wanting to bring out Dormammu and make that the focus of the second film. But now I'm hearing that Nightmare is going to be the villain of the second film and had nothing to do with Dormammu, which to me is a waste of Dormammu. Why involve him in the first film at all if he's just going to be a throwaway in the last quarter of the film? I was ready for this. This was a bit of a disappointment for me when I went to see it because I was ready to see Dormammu and Mordo and everything I was shown in Spider-Man the Animated Series. And it didn't live up to that expectation. I'm not saying this is as bad as Iron Man 3. It's not. I enjoy this film. I can actually throw this on whenever and really enjoy it. It's just, rewatching this again, I'm reminded of how so much better the character was portrayed on a show that wasn't even his. It was Spider-Man the Animated Series, a Spider-Man show, and they portrayed, even Doctor Strange was only in one episode. They did Dormammu twice, and both times, even having Venom and Carnage involved in the second time, was portrayed better than this film, because at least the focus was about releasing Dormammu. Here, it's 3/4 of the movie focusing on revenge against the Ancient One. It's okay, so there's like 3 acts, right? Act 1 is what happened, is basically Doctor Strange's origin. Gets in a car accident, he hurts his hands, he learns about this temple, he goes there, he trains, all that. We're introduced to Caecilius. Then it's him going against Caecilius and Caecilius killing the Ancient One. And after that, now, in the final act, we release Dormammu. That should have been the goal. Whether or not we see Dormammu till the end or not, that should have been the goal. His goal should have been about releasing Dormammu. The Ancient One's death in this is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Didn't need to happen. People bitch and complain about how, they cast a Gaelic woman as the Ancient One. Who the fuck cares? Alright? I know I was just complaining about being African American. I'm not down on that at all. The actor is great. Can't pronounce his name to save my life, but he's a good actor. I'm not saying anything bad about him. It's not what I envisioned. I'm not hating on it. Just not what I envisioned. Did he do a good job? Yes. Did I believe him at the end? Did I see him? Was he good at portraying someone, not necessarily evil, as he believes that humans having control of the magics is a bad thing? Was he sort of, in the post-credit scene and stuff, a decent villain? Yes, that one scene they give him, the post-credit scene, that shows him taking the magics away from Ben Bratt. The magics which allow him to walk. That's a dark scene. And if they keep him going forward in the next film as a villain, then yes, I would love to see that. And it's kind of interesting because are the films going to take place in 2023 and forward now that we're post-Endgame? And what has he been doing since then? Did he get snapped out? Did he not? Are they going to explore that? Or are they just going to throw it away? Because I heard Sam Raimi's going to direct the second one. And he can do good as long as you don't have Doctor Strange going in the middle of the film, Sam Raimi's a great director, so I think he can do good. And Scott Derrickson's good too. Or maybe his Hellraiser Inferno. But and we'll get to that. Yeah, and Wong's great. No bad acting in this. Even Mads Mikkelsen, for what he's given, he's great. I'm not bashing this movie at all. It's just, it should have been a different script. But that's the whole movie. No. Caecilius himself, if Caecilius' endgame was releasing Dormammu, I could get it. But he's about revenge on the Ancient One. And then once that's done, then we release Dormammu. To me, the main focus should have been releasing Dormammu. I don't care about his vendetta against the Ancient One. The Ancient One, I don't care that the Ancient One is harnessing dark magics to do stuff, to keep herself alive. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. She could do whatever she wants. She's the Ancient One. don't care. It's a woman. I don't care. I wanted to see Doctor Strange versus Dormammu, and we got one little bit at the end, which is cool, and it has my favorite line, Dormammu, I'm here to bargain, which he says over and over and over again. That's my favorite line. But to me, my idea seems a whole lot better. Where you have, maybe Mordo has to collect something. Maybe he finds an ancient text and he has to collect certain things. And one of them is the stone, and that's the conflict. And they fight, and he gets it, and he sort of releases Dormammu, and then Doctor Strange has to go in. If it has to be the last act of the movie where he's introduced, that's fine. As long as that's the focus of the entire movie, is releasing Dormammu. Here, it's like Dormammu was an afterthought. Like, the whole thing is Castelia is getting revenge, and like, we need something for final act. We'll throw in Dormammu. That's what it seems like. I was highly disappointed when I went to see this. Watching this back again, not so much. I can accept now that it's not the movie I wanted, but it's Doctor Strange on the big screen. It's Doctor Strange in his own movie. And Benedict Cumberbatch, if I can say his freaking name right, Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job with the character, especially in the other Avengers movies. He's great. So nothing down on that. It was just my first watch. When I saw this, I was disappointed because it's not what I thought it was going to be. I accept it now. And again, I think Castelia is another one of those one-note villains. He wants something. He wanted the ancient text. That's what it was. I want that, give it to me. Basically it was. And revenge. I want revenge, give it to me. That too. One note. I want revenge. I want this, give it to me. I kill you. Basic one-note villain. Like the other two I've talked about. I can't remember which ones they are. Malekith was one of them from Thor the Dark World. I don't remember the other one. Ronan and Malekith were the other ones I talked about. Yeah, typical one-note villain. Mads Mikkelsen could do so much better. I've seen him do so much better in other things. But yeah, it's just, I'm going to give it a 7. Because I like the movie, it's decent, and just, a lot of things notched it down for me. So what are your thoughts on Doctor Strange? I already said my favorite line. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. He says it so many times. What are your thoughts on Doctor Strange? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. I just kind of want to relax. And I know I've only done 2 Marvel reviews, but you have had 4 reviews today, right? 2 Hellraiser, 2 Marvels. If I do that a day, it could work to my advantage. So, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to go relax and just binge watch some stuff. I'll see you.